It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
and Badass Slingshots.
So what do you do when you've completely redefined the way bows are engineered? When you've reached the pinnacle and the band starts playing your victory song, you start a revolution out of thin air. Introducing the all-new PSE Carbon Air, engineered with true carbon technology to be the lightest high-performance bow in the world. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
We know the future of hunting depends on our nation's youth. But did you know that in many states, it's illegal for you to take your son or daughter hunting until the age of 12 or even older? As a result, we have fewer young hunters, and the Families Afield program is designed to eliminate those barriers. Hunting is safe, and the safest hunters afield are young people with adult mentors. Visit our website at familiesafield.org to find out how you can bring more families afield.
Welcome back for another Up North Journal Minicast.
Something that you're going to hear in the next 3 to 5 minutes or so. You're not going to hear it on the main show, but you're going to hear it tonight, right here on our Minicast.
3 to 5 minutes?
Yeah, well, we have a target time.
It ain't going to happen.
But we know it happens.
Because we got Randy Duncan in the cabin tonight. So
Randy's here for the Minicast.
We talk a lot.
We do talk a lot.
We do.
It took us an hour to get ready for this part.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we're going to stay on target.
So,
Yeah.
What are we talking about tonight, Randy?
Well, we're talking about our adventures out in the woods.
But not just adventures out in the
And-
woods, but we're going to be using an app that if you sign up for,
Backcountry Hunters and Anglers.
you get a free subscription to this.
Yeah, you get a year's subscription to Onyx. Onyx Mappng Hunt app.
And I haven't used it yet, and Mike hasn't
I've
used
not
it yet.
used it yet, but it's for public land, correct?
Well, it's actually you can set it up for a lot of different things.
Oh, it's not just for private or public land. You can put private land as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
It breaks it out to parcels, so it's kind of like a
Plat book?
yes, a plat book, because
Okay.
you can go to your house and it'll come up and tell you that it's Dan Defoe.
I'll have to
Dan
compare it
Adele,
to. I've got one of them on my GPS.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I actually paid for. So now I'll have to see how it compares to that.
So,
It's pretty slick on how, especially if you look at parcels of land that you've looked at and you're like, man, that'd be great if it was public land, or it's right next to public land, but you're not sure if it's public land. Mm-hmm. This thing breaks it out. Now, of course, there's always discrepancies. People buy land, sell land. The state buys and sells land.
Sure.
right, exactly.
But Onyx does a pretty good job of updating their
Keeping their updates
apps, yep.
updated, and you used this just recently, and the ease of use of product, good, easy to use.
Yeah, it's really real good. And if I was proactive and had set it up ahead of time,
Good idea.
you can use the maps offline
Okay.
and have them saved on your phone, so you can kind of be around and
So you don't need cell service at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. So if you're a little pre-active, you can kind of set up where you're going to go, have the maps ready for you.
Yeah, but one of the spots that I was in last weekend when I was out bow hunting, it was a new piece of land, a state land, and cell service wasn't the greatest. So
Okay.
there was a delay on trying to find where I'm at.
Okay, yeah,
So,
but
I don't know. And again, there's tons of bells and whistles I haven't even played with yet on this app. But as far as getting me around state land, it's pretty awesome. And even some of the spots that we're used to hunting in state land, it kind of because there's one of the spots the consumer's power line comes through,
Yep.
and in certain parts of the state, or is it all of them, you have to have permission to cross
Okay.
from consumers, I think.
That I'm not sure of. I know you can't hunt underneath them.
Yeah.
You have to be so far away from
can't
them.
can't hunt underneath them.
Yeah,
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know railroads, you're supposed to have permission before you can cross the rail line or the
tracks.
The tracks.
Right.
So technically, you can't hunt the other side of the tracks
without permission.
There you go.
So I don't know about consumers, but this app showed a straight line of where consumers is in relation to the state land that I'm used to hunting.
It showed the boundaries, and you were able to say, "Hey, I know where that's at."
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay, so now if somebody wants to get this. Obviously, we talked about backcountry hunters and anglers. Given the subscription to this, was it for a year? We have this to be able to use.
Yes.
Okay. Now, with that being said, for somebody who wants, is this something you can purchase off the App Store?
Yes, Android and Apple.
Okay.
Both have it. Through Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, you had a choice of either Android or Apple.
Okay.
So,
I know you put a product code in for our thing. I've seen that on the card.
Yep.
But what does it cost normally? Do you know right offhand?
give me a second. Let's see if I can.
Onyx Maps. O-N.
He's fat fingering it right now.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Thumbs.
Misspelling. Isn't that amazing? The part of technology now. You've gotten it down to your phone.
I was sitting in my tree stands, plural, this week as I was up north on my different sets, and I had service, so I'm checking weather, radar. Oh, okay, here comes thunderstorm. Or the showers. I got to hightail it and get back to camp. Checking the temperature. Different things, checking sports scores.
Well, no, that's the thing. It's all in the palm of your hand now.
Yeah.
It used to be, I remember when I was just starting deer season at the old deer camp, basically you sat there, waited, then you went to the cabin, because we're in the UP, our little transistor radio.
Oh, okay.
Because we didn't have TV or nothing, we had a radio, and I think the best we got was AM.
Right.
And it was like, okay, and then what weather do you get? And okay, that's good for the next 12 hours.
Right.
It's like, but now it's like right at the palm of your hand.
Right on.
Randy's using this app to get out, check where he's going, make sure he's on state land, not private land, so he doesn't get yelled at or run off, however it might work.
Shot.
Or shot. But yeah, and it sounds like from what Randy's saying, they use, if they're doing a pretty good job of updating, because land changes
right on
day and night,
right?
And so it sounds like a good app. I think I'm going to try to get it working this week, and
I need to get it on my phone.
Yeah, see if I can't get it working for the up in the upper there, and you know what? And Randy's got a good point because we all hunt over in the same area there,
right?
And maybe we can find a little nook and cranny that we can get into,
smoke something.
I would like to.
Well, that was the nice thing about it was the new piece of land that I was going to. I've hunted it a couple times, but I've only been within, I don't know, 500, 600, maybe 700 yards into this piece of land. Mm-hmm. Because there's certain spot, there's one main trail in it.
Yep.
It goes in. Well, if you keep following it, it dumps into a pond. But on the other side of that pond, you can kind of see a house in the distance. Mm-hmm. But with the map, you could tell
where the property line is.
Exactly. So you're like, looking at it without last year was when I was hunting it. I wasn't sure how far to go in.
Right.
And with seeing the house, obviously they could see me if I could see them. And
right.
It was during firearm garden season, so you could see the orange.
Yeah, exactly.
So I didn't want to go too far in, but with the Onyx maps, you could tell that you could get up, not right next to the house, because obviously within
the safety zones.
Yeah, you have the safety zones, but their property line is way before the safety zone.
Right.
So you would be able to skirt the edge, and then that opened up to a whole nother. After looking at the map, because some of those maps you get from the state, they're photocopied.
10 times,
photocopies of photocopies.
Right.
So the
lines are a little blurred.
Exactly. So you could tell from the map that it kind of goes off to the left and goes up to the next road that's another mile up.
Yep,
okay.
exactly.
So you had a whole another area. So with the map, there's topo maps and all that you can add to it. I could tell that there was a little depression. Well, it come to find out it was a pond. Inside that pond, I found 6 or 8 different muskrat huts.
Cool.
Okay.
So I don't know how deep the pond is, but there was a couple muskrat huts that weren't too far off of the edge. So one of the things that I'm going to probably do, hopefully in the next couple weeks, is go grab some traps, go do some scouting for firearm deer season, or if it is during firearm deer season, go throw some traps out. I got some trap 110 stakes from the trapping convention a few months ago, so I might go out there, throw a couple traps in there on a Saturday, hunt a little bit, come back on Sunday, do a little more hunting, and check my traps.
There you go.
Gotcha.
All because of Onyx Maps.
There you go. So get over to your local app store, or better yet, go to Backcountry Hunters and Anglers.
Sign up,
get a subscription to what they're doing in their magazine, and join that group.
Yep, help them help them to help us save the public lands.
Absolutely. That'll do it for this minicast. This episode was brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
and Badass Slingshots.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe. Until next week on the Up North Journal.